shot. 4 teams from District 16 have already qualified. It's just a matter of who will play who in that single elimination tournament. You've got Gables coming into this ball game at 12-2 in the district, tied with Southwest at 12-2. The Ridge is 10-4 and Palmetto 9-5. So we very well could be watching a preview of the first round matchup. Here's a shot out into right field, and that's fielded cleanly by Vincent Torres, and one away for the Cavaliers. Eddie Hoff on the mound for Gables. 6 foot, 160-pound junior right-hander. We mentioned he was so strong up at Boardwalk in baseball. Cavaliers have won 13 of their last 14 games, including a clean sweep in Orlando. Pitch to the plate, swung on and shot just past Peck into right field, and that'll be a base hit for Shannon Stewart, the center fielder. Stewart, two-sport athlete, down at Southridge, played football this year, and he's aboard, one-out base runner for the Spartans. He's being held on by Peck as the Cavaliers are in their home pinstripes this afternoon. Southridge in the gray with the trim. At the plate, it's Ricardo Gama, second baseman. Get a load of these numbers. .560 batting average with 29 RBIs. Both of these teams are impressive offensively. There's a pitch outside for ball 1. Cavaliers throwing their ace in Eddie Hoff today. He and Beira have been very hot as of late. Valercio as well, as he got a shutout earlier this week. Southridge, well, this game not all that important to them in terms of the district standings. They're pretty much locked in, it appears, at the 3rd spot. They'll be going with a sophomore just up from JV and Wade Clayton. We'll give you some more numbers on him as Southridge takes to the field in the next half inning. With 1 out, top of the 1st, on at first base is Shannon Stewart. Snap throw over, and Stewart's back in time. He leads the team with 15 stolen bases. He's got a lot of speed.
Oh, come on!
Off at the plate, there goes the runner. Up and throwing is Eliezer Marrero, and he gets him. He may have the best gun behind the plate in high school baseball in Dade County. And Shannon Stewart finds out. 2 gone for the Ridge. Gama, the second baseman, will stand in now with the bases empty. Pitch to the plate from Hoff is a call, a strike. Umpires this afternoon, a couple of veterans. Hollis Drake at home plate, and Bob James is on the bases. Gables going with Marrero behind the plate. You saw his arm. There's a foul shot by Gama. Tom Peck, senior co-captain. What a year he's having over at first base. The same can be said throughout the infield. Mike Lowell at second. Alex Tamargo at short, and Rodriguez over at third. The outfield is Adrian Perez, Jose Martinez, and Vincent Torres. And Eddie Hoff. From the full wind is the pitcher. One hops its way to the plate. Well, this is the last home game of the year at Woodward Field for the Cavaliers. They have defended their home turf very well indeed in 1992. Final game of the year will be at Palmetto. Could be a biggie in terms of the districts. Swing and a miss. Hoff gets him. And it turns out to be a 3-up and 3-down inning. To the bottom of the 1st. No score at Gables High School.
After dating the guy forever, I think I could
Be staying after school for your tardiness.
I'm going to get fined for that one, Will. I've been running around like crazy today. I'm sorry I'm late, but you know how traffic is in Miami.
Thanks for joining us, Vin. It's
always a
pleasure to be with Vin Scavo, head trainer at Coral Gables High School, to join us for the color commentary. He's going to have to pay a little fine in the Kangaroo Court down there to Tom Piero, our director. The pitcher for Southridge, as we set him defensively, is Wade Clayton, a sophomore starting for Jeff Curry's team. He was 5-1, a strong right arm on the junior varsity. Defense is this way. Cesar Cerda is at home. is the catcher. Todd Rouse over at first. Ricardo Gama at second. Sean Schuler and Javier Rodriguez at short and third. Celeste Bargeman, great name, over in left field. Shannon Stewart, the speedy one, in center. And Alfred Nieves is in right field. Southridge, Vin, went down pretty much 1, 2, 3, although they did get a base runner who was caught stealing in the first inning. And Gables will be coming to the plate, and they really have dominated the Spartans this year. We already talked about it. They beat them last month at Southridge, and then they really beat them up at the Boardwalk and Baseball tournament.
Gables right now is just playing excellent baseball, and they're playing excellent baseball. You know, they go up to the tournament of Boardwalk and Baseball and play excellent, score a lot of runs, get great pitching from Bob Rivera. Jose Huguet coming back after a little absence, and you know, steadiness of Huff and Mikey Lowell and Rodriguez are just playing good baseball. They're probably right now the best team in the state as far as I'm concerned.
Yep, 8th ranked in the state, although it's the poll at the end of the year, of course, that matters. But this is a Gables team, certainly, Vinny, that has got a legit shot to make a run at a state championship.
People got to understand something. They're playing very good baseball right now, but the big thing for Gables is, and I'm sure there's some pressure on them, they got to win that district. And the way they're playing right now and the coaching staff that they got, I think they're going to do a good job. And I really believe that they're going to win. They're going to win the district this year.
Eliezer Marrero hitting .465 with 3 home runs and that gun behind home plate. We saw him show it off in the first inning. He's at the plate against the sophomore Wade Clayton. What a chore for Clayton. Going against one of the top teams in the district. He really rears back and fires the right-hander. And Marrero gets the second strike on the board on the foul tip.
The thing about Southridge, they're an excellent baseball program. Runner-up in the state last year. Have great coaching staff, do a good job with the kids, and you know, you just can't take a Southridge team lightly no matter how many times you beat them in the past. They're going to come and play every ball game. They're going to play hard, so you got to give them your best every ball game.
Pitch to the plate, swung on and shot out into right center field. Stewart going back, way back. He lost that one. It's over his head and over the fence for a ground rule double. Marrero just got that one up into the wind, and Stewart kind of lost sight of it, and on at second base is the Gables leadoff batter.
Yeah, we're here in mini Wrigley Field today. The wind is definitely blowing out to center field. You can see where the flag is blowing. I think Shannon kind of underestimated that a little bit. He was more concerned, I think, about the fence than he was. I think he realized after the ball bounced over how much room he had.
At the plate, Tom Peck now for the Cavaliers. Game in and game out. The 6-foot, 160-pound senior has done it. He's got that batting average up to .432. Pitches high for ball one.
Tommy's one of those quiet ball players. He does what he has to do. He's an excellent job at first base. In the tournament, did a great job swinging the bat, tournament MVP. He's a guy, at the end of the year, you realize what he's done for the ball club and how valuable he is. And, you know, he's a silent guy. Tommy, you really don't hear much sometimes if you know he's in there. But he is definitely loud with the bat and doing a great job for the Cavaliers right now.
On at second base is Marrero. Back at the plate, popped him up. Fouled out of play, and the count is at 1-1. Overcast and windy. I hope not drizzly late afternoon in Coral Gables. Seems like every time we get up here, Vin, it's kind of the inclement Coral Gables weather. I don't know. Here's a pitch to the plate. Down low for ball 2. It's 2-1 now to Peck.
Well, it's going to take a big win to get me off this dugout. I know that.
It took some of your Kurt Thomas impersonation to work the high wire bar to get on top of the dugout.
I found a portable ladder over there. And,
That's right. We broadcast from on top of the Gables dugout, the first base dugout here at Woodward Field. Great shape. Coach Biz and the entire Gables team and staff keep Woodward Field looking good. We mentioned last ball game of the year at home. Districts head over to Mark Light Stadium, where the Cavaliers and the Southwest Eagles have some experience. As we know, they played that regular season matchup there a couple weeks back. There's ball 4, and the sophomore Clayton is in some early trouble. It gives up the double and now the walk to Peck. Runners at first and second for Mike Lowell.
I think Gables likes to that Marklight is their home away from home, and they play very good baseball there, and the districts have been held there in the past, and Gables this year, I think they feel that this could be their year.
Marrero's on at second, Peck is at first, and Mike Lowell 4 home runs, .455 batting average, impressive pitching numbers. This guy has been the man this season for the Cavaliers, and the first pitch is over.
I was just glancing down our first baseline.
Yep.
It was Lou Piniella at first base. That's Harold Cole.
We'll get a shot of the Gables AD, the main man. He's become kind of the good luck charm for the Cavaliers, coaching at first base. He had to fill in for Biz one game earlier this season. He's wearing number 30 at first base, so we'll get a shot of him before too long. And Coach Stroh, Orlando Castro, is over at third.
Cole may get fined the way he wears those socks.
Scavo said that one, Coach. Pitch to the plate to Lowell, just misses. On deck is Mark Rodriguez. There's a little bit of a drizzle in the air. There he is, Coach Cole. Say hi to the boss, Vin.
There he is, the best AD in the county right there. Is that the AD? Yes, AD. So is the assistant AD.
There's a shot out into center field. Shannon Stewart is there to gather it in. Well hit by Lowell, but well defended by the Ridge for out number 1 of the inning.
There's an excellent ball player out there in center field, Shannon Stewart. Probably going to be a high draft pick this year. Excellent athlete, good football player, good baseball player, great speed, excellent bat speed at the plate. Shannon's gonna do some things in the future.
Here's the cleanup batter, the third baseman Mark Rodriguez, 384, couple of home runs this year. First pitch, one hops its way, and that'll advance each base runner. Wild pitch on the sophomore Clayton.
He threw that ball with his back and didn't really bend down and get into the pitch. He's kind of coming over the top more, and he needs to bend his front knee and come down with his back and throw more, kind of like he's throwing a punch, and go more towards home plate.
As we take a look from behind, from center field, there's a shot at Marrero at third. Peck is over at second base. There's a ground ball, shortstop side, deep in the hole, and that's not going to do it. Coming home to score is Marrero. Schuler could not come up with it, and safely aboard is Rodriguez. That should be a base hit.
I think that's a base hit. Mark is playing good baseball. You know, the thing about Gables is, I don't know if you can say they're peaking. They've been playing good baseball all year. I think they just turned it up a notch a little bit now, and they're really showing what they can do. And you know, Coach Biz doing a great job. He's an excellent manager with these kids, and really does a good job and knows how to motivate these kids and knows good baseball strategy.
They wanted to jump out on Southridge early, because they beat them up pretty bad in Orlando, and figuring they could get that edge if they could get a quick lead, and they've done it here in the bottom of the first.
Plus,
1 out, 1 run in.
With Southridge going with the sophomore pitcher, if they can get on him early, it gives Gables a little more of an advantage, and you know, kind of rattle him up a little bit. And the thing about it, the way he's throwing overhand, he needs to really bend that front leg and come down, or you can see all his pitches are going down in the dirt and outside.
Then we talked about the success here at home at Woodward. Cavaliers have not lost a home game in 1992. Again, the pitch misses from Clayton. He's really struggling early.
I think this ball club is definitely starting to set some tradition here at Gables, and I think, you know, last year with Coach Casiglia's first year, kind of an uneasy way, the way he took over the situation. Really didn't have the kind of kids he wanted in those positions, and now I think he's got the people where he wants them, and I think now he's able to push the buttons where he wants to push them, and you know, this team is starting to really come in. And I think you're going to see a surprise with this ball club, and you know, can't say enough about them the way they're playing. Southwest, that can be a real good one at the districts, the way things are working out.
And don't forget about the Ridge either. Runners going. Hit and run was on. Tamargo fouls that one off. It's Alex Tamargo at the plate, the shortstop. Hitting .333.
I think the thing I've been talking to some of the players about is what happened in the tournament, and you know, guys making stats and MVP. It really doesn't matter, because it's what happens at the end, and the districts is a whole new season, and you know, anybody can just...
Here it comes, Vinny. Here it comes, foul ball. Yo! Right on top of the dugout. We're ready for that one.
Where'd our first base coach go? Oh, there he is. Got lost there for a second.
On at third base is Peck. On at first base is Mark Rodriguez. Coach Castro, good look at him going through the signs. Job he's done with the offense this year.
Playing that Mark Light on the turf. We had a ball game, I think it was against Homestead 2 years ago. Player hits the base hit, bounces over the left fielder's head, completely turns the ball game around. So anything can happen in the district.
There's a shot into right field, base hit. Peck will score and safely aboard with the RBI single to Margot, 2-0 Cavaliers. Third hit of the inning for Gables. Coach Biz has gotten what he wanted, a quick lead as they're jumping on the sophomore Clayton.
Get some action in the Southridge bullpen right now.
Southridge, one of their assistants, then J.C. Gaylord. You remember that name from Marklight Stadium. He was a veteran umpire in local college ball.
J.C., good friend, excellent job as a pitching coach at Southridge. Give him a lot of credit, him and Steve Rogers last year when Coach Curry was came down ill, had an operation, and him and Stevie Rogers took that ball club and won the regionals and the sectionals, and does an excellent job. Could be a head coach at any school if he wants in the state, but does a great job as a pitching coach with Southridge, and they got a real good staff.
2-0 Coral Gables, bottom of the first inning. Now we'll get a look at J.C. Gaylord as he's coming out of the dugout, taking the slow walk to the pitcher's mound. Already 6 men have come to the plate in the inning as the sophomore Wade Clayton, well, he's finding out what it's like at the varsity level in District 16.
Well, you know, he's a sophomore, and I think what JC's going to come out and talk to him is just calm him down, and, you know, he wants to stay with him as long as he can, but he doesn't want it to get ugly here either, and where it can get behind. Gables is playing real good baseball, and you don't want to give him too much of a lead where you can't come back, but he's going to try to give the sophomore as much confidence as he can and stick with him as long as he can without the ball game getting out of hand. You know, Southridge, they got Caesar behind the plate, Stewart in center field. They could swing the bats a little bit too. Caesar's leading the county in hitting right now, and he's batting 6-something. I think he's an excellent ball player. I like the way he plays. He's a hustler, and you know, he's a real bulldog back there behind the plate. He earns his money behind that plate every ball game.
There's another foul shot by Perez. Look out. Oh, into the parking lot.
I had window all over it right there.
Sets off
somebody's alarm. At least they know it works.
Sets off a little alarm in the backdrop here in the City Beautiful. The 2-0 Coral Gables in the bottom of the first inning. They've gotten ahead of Clayton and Southridge. At the plate is Adrian Perez, the left fielder. Sun now coming out. Get those rain clouds away. Our first TV game since we've gone to daylight savings time in South Florida, so we don't really have to worry about darkness, as that was a worry in that sunset extra, the extra inning game.
The game was cruising right along up until about the 5th inning, and then they decided to put it on 33 speed for the rest of the way.
Pitch to the plate from Clayton, swung on and ripped into left field, base hit. Mounding third is Rodriguez. He's going to come home. And a little trouble out there in left field by Bargeman as the ball goes out of play. The Cavaliers make it 3-0. They're just teeing off. Perez ends up at second. Tamargo at third, and Rodriguez crosses home plate for the 3-0 lead.
You know, if you notice the Gables hitters right now, I haven't seen the Southridge hitters in the first inning, but, you know, Coach Basile, I don't think he believes in giving that take sign. You know, you give somebody a take sign, you're just taking the bat out of the hand, you're taking the pitch out of the hand, and, you know, it's so hard. Let them swing the bat and let them have fun, and that's what they're out here for. And right now, that's what Gables is doing. They're swinging the bat, and they're connecting, and they're getting those base hits that they need, and then they're being aggressive at the plate.
Vincent Torres now, number 7 hitter. First pitch from Clayton misses for ball 1. 3-0 Cavaliers. 4 base hits in the inning. We're only in the bottom of the first, and the Southridge infield already forced to play in. Runners at second and third. There's a strike called to Torres.
The thing I don't like about giving people take signs all the time is you let the manager sets the tempo, and this way when you let them swing the bat, the players are setting the tempo with the ball game, and they're becoming more aggressive with the play.
Curveball swung on and lifted to center. Stewart is there for the play. Tagging from third is Tamargo. He'll come home and score. Trying to advance to third is Perez, and he's out for the 3rd out of the inning. The run will count. It scored, and the Cavaliers get a big 4-0 lead. 4 runs on 4 base hits, no errors. 1 man left aboard. Through 1 complete, Cavaliers lead it 4-0. Off along with the boisterous Vince Scavo. Good to have him with us, head trainer here at Coral Gables High School, and Well, this Gables baseball team and program has really taken off in 92. Tied for first place in the district, and they are red hot as they head towards the district playoffs. They've got the 4-0 lead here over Southridge as they jumped on the sophomore Wade Clayton in the first inning. 4-0 lead for Eddie Hoff.
Well, I think this district is a very good district. Got some excellent baseball teams. Southridge, Southwest playing good baseball. They're having a hell of a year over there. And, you know, Gables starting off their season with Columbus. I mean, they went right into the fire right away and played some good baseball. And I think that's what you got to do, because the better your competition, the better you're going to play.
And here's Caesar Serta. Vinny spoke about him last half inning. Leading the league, leading the county really, and hitting at .603. Every 6 out of 10 at-bats, this catcher with 27 RBIs, junior catcher, gets a base hit. Pops one up here down the right field line. Peck is given chase, and it's foul and out of play. That's amazing.
Caesar did a great job. We saw him in the districts last year, and this is the first time I'm seeing him this year. And, you know, just look at, you know, you look at his size and say, well, he's not that big, but boy, I'd put him on my ball club any day. And he's a dogfighter back there, and he plays hard, and he gives you a good day's work every ball game.
Serta shows bunt, fouls it off. 2 strikes on the board. And Vinny, there's really a shortage of quality catching. I mean, when you talk from little league to high school up to the college and even minor and major league level, we've got 2 of the best here in Marrero and Serta.
You really do. You have 2 good catchers in this district. And notice what Caesar did last time he tried to bunt. His team was down 4 runs. He's just trying to get on base and do whatever he can to get his team and start something going. Huffer's situation, he's got a 4-run lead. He's just got to come out here and throw strikes and let his defense do the work, because he don't want his guys standing around here and getting lazy on the bases, and he just got to throw the ball over the plate. And they gave him a 4-run cushion, and he's got to take advantage of that.
Vinny, the big bonus in the last couple of weeks for Gables has been the outstanding pitching. There's a pitch to the plate that misses, 2-2. They've really turned it up a notch as they've headed down the stretch. A couple of shutouts in there. Huff and Bayer have been pitching so well.
Yeah, it got to a point. Bobby was kind of struggling there a few weeks into the season, and I think now he's found himself, and that's where you talk about the coaching, the kind of job that Dave Basiglia does is he stays with his people, he knows what he's got, and he's confident with them, and even if a guy goes into a slump and has a hard time, he doesn't push him aside, he stays with them and he teaches them, and I think that's real important at the high school level. You got to give these kids some confidence, and I don't think you really see a lot in that in a lot of programs. You got to be confident with these kids, and they're going to make mistakes and they're going to have their slumps, and he's stuck with his ball club, and they're doing an excellent job.
Todd Rouse at the plate. He sends one out into center field. Jose Martinez is there. Out number 1 of the inning.
You know, a guy that I'm real happy to see is Jose Huguet, who's back, and here's a guy who had some problems in the beginning of the year with eligibility. Instead of him just staying home and getting fat and doing nothing, he's worked out every day, came out and threw when he had to thrown in the parks, did his running, whatever he had to do, and came back with the ball club, and he really helped them up at the Boardwalk and Baseball tournament, and he's going to be a big factor down the stretch for this ball club.
We'll see him lead off in the 8th spot in the next half inning, Vin. As Celeste Bargeman's at the plate. Pitch gets away from the catcher Marrero, and trotting up to second base is Serta. Top of the 2nd inning. Windy and now, well, kind of rainy afternoon here in Coral Gables at Woodward Field, Coral Gables High School. Gables and Southridge in a District 16 matchup. 2 of the top teams in the district and the county. Fastball to the plate misses. 2-0. Bargeman, the left fielder, hitting .440 on the season. There's a strike from Hoff. Steve Rogers coaching over at first base for Southridge, and the head man, Jeff Curry, is at third.
You better give Rogers some action down at first. He might fall asleep.
Here's a pitch to the plate. Misses inside, and it's 3-1. Bargeman, right-hander against the right-hander Hoff. Number 13 to number 8. Foul tips one, 3-2.
I think what you're going to see in this ball game, Paige, you're going to see real good baseball strategy. Both coaches do a good job. The coaching staffs. J.C. Gaylord handles the pitching for Southridge, does a good job. Stevie Rogers works with the defense, helps in the offense, and I think you're going to see a lot of real good strategy in this ballgame. Even though Gables has that 4-run lead, though, I think Southridge is going to get themselves back in the ballgame. They're just too good of a ball club to sit back.
Pitch to the plate is swung on and shot into right field. Fair ball. Bounces over the fence. Ground rule double. Bargeman brings home Serta. You're right, Vin. It's 4-1.
Well, definitely, you're looking at the wind, too. That's going to be a big factor. I think the pitchers have to keep the ball low and let these guys hit ground balls. Fly balls, they could do anything. And Coach Biz knows the kind of team Southridge is, and he's going to come out and talk to the Huff for a little bit and just try to keep him under control.
So the Spartans get on the board on the double by Bergman. Take a look at it again, Vin.
Well, Hoff just throws an outside pitch, and he just goes with it down the right field line and picks himself up a double. And you can just see the way the wind is blowing. He hit that ball hard, but really that wind just picked it up even. And I think if the wind wasn't really blowing the way it was, he would have himself a base hit. But with the wind blowing, it was able to carry a little bit more and bounce over for a ground double.
So Dave Biseglia, head coach for Coral Gables in his second year, is now at pitcher's mound area with the entire infield. Coral Gables on top 4-1. Offensive barrage early on. Cavaliers with 4 in the bottom of the first, and Southridge now getting one back here in the top half of the second inning. It'll be Javier Rodriguez to face Hoff. Rodriguez, the lone man in the Southridge starting lineup who's not hitting 300. Both teams with unbelievable team averages, really. Gables, of course, at 365. Southridge up around that number as well. Hoff checks the runner at second. Pitch is low and away for ball 1.
Really a lot has to be said for baseball down in the South Florida area. These teams go up to these tournaments and they really do a super job. They play teams from across the country that are supposed to be the best in their state, and we always wind up having the Miami teams coming out on top in most of these tournaments. Gables winning the Boardwalk in baseball. I think Southwest was a big competitor in the Sarasota tournament. Westminster's out there over in California tearing up the Upper Deck Classic, and it just shows the kind of baseball we have down here. And if you look in the stands, you see more scouts than you do fans, and they know that this is a big market for pro prospects.
Yeah, saw Mariner scout earlier today.
Fernando Arguelles, a former Gables graduate, director of Latin American scouting, and good friend of mine. I'm glad to see him, and I think he's going to do a super job. Keep him in the American League. We don't want him in the National League.
Here's the pitch to the plate. Off speed, a strike to Rodriguez, third baseman. On at second with 1 out is Celeste Bargeman. It's number 7 hitter, the senior Rodriguez. Southridge trying to make up a 4-1 deficit. Off to the plate. Shot foul into the backstop. Southridge will play at Southwest tomorrow. Of course, that game will be completed by the time our broadcast Sunday night. Cable Tap 2 in Dade County, channel 36, every Sunday at 8:30, of course, and throughout the week on Gables City Network, channel 49 in the City Beautiful.
I know Gables has one more game to make up with Palmetto. I don't know when that's going to be. That's still been under discussion. That's going to be Thursday or Friday, and Gables would like to get it over with. I think Southwest just Palmetto wants to sit back and wait and see what happens, but it's got to be played, and that's going to be a big factor with the Southwest and Gables situation.
The 4 teams are set for districts. It's just who's playing who at what time. Chased one, struck him out. Rodriguez is retired, and that's a big K for Huff, his second of the game.
That's a big out right there, and notice he's getting the ball down. That's what he's got to do, is keep the ball on the ground. You don't want anything up in the air today. The wind is just going to cause a lot of problems out there.
Eddie Hoff, he's got another year with Coach Biz. Man, he'll come in 93 as one of the highly touted pitchers in Dade County.
Yeah, Eddie's getting himself a lot of innings in this year. He does a super job, and you can see he's the ace of this staff, and he's just really doing a good job. And he's a tough pitcher and has a real good arm, and you're going to see a lot of good things happen to him in the future.
Then Marrero will be back as well for the Cavaliers. It's going to be fun covering Gables. Well, really, as they're getting the tradition going throughout the 90s. Here's a pitch that's a strike to Alfred Nieves, the right fielder. Senior hitting .350, left-handed bat against Hoff.
They're going to have to fill some spots in the infield and a couple in the outfield, but I think with the kind of program Dave Basile has put together, I think he's going to get the people he needs to fill those spots, and you know, the tradition is going to continue.
Popped him up. Third base side, Rodriguez called off by the shortstop Tamargo, who makes the play. But the Ridge gets a run back on one base hit. No errors and one left to the bottom of the second. Gables 4 and Southridge 1. To the bottom of the second inning we go. Gables on top 4-1. Will Seekoff along with Vince Scavo. Director Tom Piero in the truck. Mike Mustard, Rich Umansky, all the Gables City Network crew and Cavalier Cable Network. Offensive battle thus far. And for the Cavaliers, it's going to be 8, 9, and 1 in the lineup. Jose Huguet. And if you've been a viewer of our broadcast, his first TV appearance of the year for Huguet, along with Jose Martinez and Eliezer Marrero. And Ben, you were talking about Huguet. He's back in the lineup, and that could be a boost for Gables down the stretch.
Oh, it definitely is, because it gives him another pitcher that can throw the ball and does a good job. He did a great job in the Boardwalk and Baseball tournament. But what he did was, in the time that he wasn't playing, he really worked himself and showed his dedication, and I think that's really going to be a big help. He's a junior. He'll be back next year, and I've never seen him hit yet, so hopefully he'll help them with the bat also.
Number 14 stands in, and quickly, 2 balls and no strikes from Wade Clayton.
I think if you're going to compete for the state title, you're going to have 3 good pitches, and I think right now with him coming back, Gables has shown that they can do that.
They've got Hoff, Marrero, of course Lowell out of the bullpen. There's ball 3 now to Huguet. How about Palercio getting that shutout?
That was nice to see Chris come and get a win and give him some confidence. And he's a junior; he'll be back next year. And you know, he pitched real well. And you know, like I said, Dave gives his ball club. He works for his players, give them the confidence that they need. And you know, you get down and somebody gets hurt between now and then, you know, Chris may have to come in and fill in a spot, and having that confidence, knowing he won his last ball game, is going to make him have some more confidence out there on the mound. So things, you know, Coach Basile tries to make things work out for the positive, and he's real positive with his athletes.
Huguet's over now on first base as he's hit by a pitch there from Clayton. 3 balls on the board. The 4th one was inside, hit him on the leg off speed, and leadoff man aboard for the Cavaliers, who are looking to get that run back in the bottom of the second. Here's Jose Martinez, center fielder, 365. What a 9-spot hitter he's been in 1992. Strike 1 call.
I think what the Southridge coaches would like to see is Clayton get a 1-2-3 inning here. They really don't want to see him put any more people on base and give Gables some more runs. They realize that their guys are swinging the bat a little bit too, and you know, when you're down 3 runs, it's a 7-inning ball game. You got to try to, you know, get as much as you can on the board.
Huguet's on at first base for the Cavaliers. Got his lead being held on by Todd Rouse. Clayton to the plate. Misses inside. Clayton's got a little bit of a hitch, Vin, right at the back of that motion, the right-hander, number 19. Big guy on the mound, but get a look at him there. Runner going. Steps off and retired at second base is Huguet.
Well, you want to be aggressive on the base pass. That's not what you want in that situation. You know, you don't want to get picked off. I think Huguet just anticipated a little bit. He really didn't let us see his move too much. Clayton hasn't really thrown over to first base. I think he needed to watch that move a little bit more and get the timing down. But Clayton hesitated a little bit, and he was able to pick Huguet off at second base.
Martinez at the plate with Marrero on deck. 1 out now in the inning. Walked him, ball 4. So the Cavs have batted through 1 time, back to the top of the order, and Eliezer Marrero, man who got the 4-run first inning going with the double, later scored a run. Cavaliers Cavaliers on top, 4-1. Here's the right-hander, Marrero. Third base, that will be a fair ball. Martinez headed towards third, and he'll stop there. And at second base with his second double of the ball game is Marrero. Good eyes, Vinny, and that was fair down the third base line.
Yeah, my eyes are getting a little bit better there, Will. As you get older, they do get bad, but I saw that. That looked good. He hit that ball real well. He's got excellent bat speed. He's a heck of a ball player. He's just doing a super job for Gables.
There's Marrero, shot down the third base line. Let's take a look at it. Just past the reach of Javier Rodriguez. Back to live action in Tom Peck. He walked and scored in the first inning.
It's a great job by our producer in that truck. What's his name again?
Piero.
Oh, Piero, yeah.
We found him walking over on Granada Boulevard.
Oh, it's nice to give him a job. You know, he deserves one.
We needed somebody. We said, hey, what are you doing? Come on in. Free beverages. Here's a little dink into left field, and that'll score a run. Tom Peck, the left-hander, goes with the pitch. The Cavaliers now up 5-1. Holding up at second base is Marrero. Nice piece of hitting there for Peck.
Yes, Tommy Peck. What more can you say? I mean, this is just looking at the Gables in the past, you're just looking at a completely different ball club. They really come of age. They've really taken the fall baseball and the teachings of Coach Basile, and they're just putting them all into one package right now. And here's a guy that I just can't say more about, Mikey Lowell. He does it with the bat. He does it at second base. He's doing it on the mound, and just a super kid. And here's a guy that's going to make somebody's program very successful next year.
Mike Lowell goes with it to right field, and gathering it in is Nieves. So back at second is Marrero. And back at first is Peck. That's the second out of the inning. Cavaliers doing a lot of first pitch swinging. Clayton's putting the ball over, and the results have been good for Gables, the 5-1 lead.
Well, they're being aggressive. You know, in the past, you've seen a lot of Gables players take pitches and kind of, wait for something to happen. Now they're making something happen, and here's a guy who likes to do that. He swings the bat real well, and Mark Rodriguez is doing a super job this year. Swinging the bat, had a good tournament. I thought he should have been on the all-tournament team, but that's not important. As long as he picks up that ring at the end of the year as a state champion, that's more important than anything else.
From the stretch, Clayton comes to the plate. Good block there by the catcher, Cerda. Runners for Coral Gables at second base, Eliezer Marrero. At first base, Tom Peck. And there's a look at home plate, Mark Rodriguez. He rips it down the left field line, just foul. Kind of a duck hook on that one.
Hit that ball real hard. Wind took it a little bit to left.
There's wind out here today, Vin? I hadn't noticed.
Got the lead boots on.
If I could keep one piece of paper down, I'd be happy. Cavaliers have kept the runs down. Southridge with 1, Gables with 5. A 5-1 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. And they're still threatening with men at first and second for the cleanup hitter Rodriguez. Once again, Clayton one-hops its way to the catcher, Cerda. Second base, it's Marrero. First base, it's Tom Peck.
Between innings, we can catch a little softball action down on the right field.
And an instant replay. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Well, that's 3 batters he's walked this inning, and that's not what you want to do when you're down by 4 runs. And, when you got a guy like Alex Tamargo coming up and hit the ball real well, and I'm sure right now J.C. Gaylord is not going to go much longer with Clayton, but, he's going to try to, give him as much confidence as possible. Southridge, good ball club, so anything can happen.
Marrero's at third, Peck at second, and Rodriguez at first base. 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. Cavaliers threatening to blow this one open. The wind threatened to blow us off the dugout. It's 5-1 Gables, and the pitch misses to Alex Tamargo.
I think that's it right there.
Yep, J.C. Gaylord coming out from the dugout. A new pitcher will come in for the Ridge. We'll take a timeout, come back, set the scene for you as the Cavaliers are threatening in the bottom of the second. Gables High Cavaliers up 5-1 with the bases loaded in the bottom of the second inning, and a new pitcher for the Southridge Spartans. Sophomore Mike Suarez is replacing sophomore Wade Clayton. Clayton struggled through his 1 2/3 innings of work, and Suarez into the ballgame, Vinny, in an unenviable situation. Bases loaded in a potential blowout situation.
Well, it is, but you know, he's got to come in and throw strikes. That's what Clayton didn't do. You can just see the last couple of batters he threw to. He just really had nothing on the baseball. Really wasn't putting his body into it, and I think he was just happy to get out of there. He's a sophomore. He'll have a lot more innings and a lot more chances, but. You know, against Gables, you know, it's amazing how things have worked. And it used to be where Gables used to be in these situations. Now they're creating the situation, and that's the difference in this ball club.
Vinny, let me ask you a question about the confidence for the Southridge team. Obviously, they came in so highly touted this year and have had a fine season in terms of the win-and-loss record. But they dropped the game on March 13 to Gables 4-2. Got beat up in Orlando 13-4. Why do you think we're seeing all the sophomore pitchers here in the third outing of the season?
Well, I know they pitched their #1 guy the other day. I think that was against Palmetto.
Right.
And I'm sure they're going to see him. They're going to throw him again tomorrow. Maybe having the way the district is, knowing that they're in the district, they got a spot. I think JC knows that down the line he's going to have to use some of these guys depending on how far they go, and if they do continue to go far, you got to have 3 or 4 pitchers, and if you can have 3 or 4 pitchers who can win for you, that just gives you that much of an edge. And he's got to get some of these younger guys some experience, and he does a super job with his pitchers. And even if they don't go far this year, these guys will have some innings so that they'll be ready for next year, and that's what he's looking at down the road also.
Tamargo's still at the plate. It's now a 2-ball and no strike count. Cavaliers up 5-1. Bases loaded, full of Cavaliers with Marrero, Peck, and Rodriguez. 2-0 is a strike called to Tamargo.
When you're playing the competitive district that this is, you know, you got to get these guys some experience. It's just hard to throw them in the fire right away and expect them to produce. It's just going to take some time, and they got to be groomed, and that's what I think JC's doing with them.
Chopper shortstop side. Schuler goes to Gama.
And he did the job.
And a nice relief work there for Mike Suarez. Cavaliers leave the bases loaded. They get a run, though, and through 2 complete. It's Gables 5, Southridge 1. Oral Gables. Cavaliers undefeated at home this season. Tops in the district right now, tied with Southwest. 22-4 overall. 12-2 in the district against Southridge, 19-6 and 10-4. 2 teams that potentially could be meeting at Markleigh Stadium next week for the District 16 playoffs. And who knows, maybe Dade County team's going to make some noise at the Boardwalk and Baseball and the state championships this year.
Well, hopefully that'll happen, and if it's Gables or Southridge, they have some experience being up there, and anything can happen in the district, and I think the coaches know that, and I think they told their players that, and the players know that, and you know, it's just you know, who's going to come out of the district, but I really think that whoever does come out of the district will have a shot at going all the way to the state, because this is a really good competitive district.
Well, Gables left the bases loaded in the second, so they lead it 5-1. Top of the third inning, it's Soto, Schuler, and Stewart for Southridge. First one's popped down the right field line. That's going to be a double for John Soto, the number 9 hitter, the DH. Jumped on it.
Well, you see with that big inning with Suarez coming in and getting that out and getting them back in the dugout with loaded bases, Gables had an opportunity to break it open, and you know, Suarez comes in talking about giving your pitchers confidence, and now they lead off with a double, and now Eddie's just going to have to bear down, and he's just going to have to throw strikes.
Leadoff man, the shortstop Schuler, popped out to right field to lead off the game. On at second base is Soto, the DH. Hoff checks him. Comes on home, misses for ball 1.
You don't see too many pitchers in high school right now that are very overpowering, like you had the Jose Prados, the Ricky Greens. You know, go down the line with some other guys in the county that were really overpowering pitchers. If you have your control and spot your pitches where you want, you can be just as successful.
Chopper at third. Rodriguez guns him out. Holding on at second base is Soto, 1 gone. Another look at that one. Chopper at third base, and Mark Rodriguez, he's held down the fort all season long. Hoff now to the number 2 batter, Shannon Stewart. First pitch misses for ball 1. Stewart, he singled and was caught stealing back in the first inning. Two-sport athlete for the Spartans. We saw him play some football, as we mentioned earlier this year.
Excellent athlete.
Off to the plate. Popped him up. Left center field. Calling him off and making the play is Jose Martinez. 2 away. Holding at second base is Soto. Cavaliers, we mentioned, have won 13 of their last 14. Come back with a couple of shutouts after their 4th straight at the Boardwalk and Baseball Tournament. They beat Hancock, HML, Southridge, and Lexington. Eddie Hoff, our pitcher this afternoon, picked up 2 of the wins in that prestigious tournament in Orlando. At the plate is Gama, and he looks at strike 1.
That's got to be a very good tournament. They do a super job up in Orlando hosting that tournament, bringing some good ball clubs. And that's a real good spring tournament to go up there and bring your team to.
Pitch misses for a ball.
And I guess Gables has to go back next year as the defending champion.
On at second base, leadoff man Soto's still there. Eddie Hoff working against Ricardo Gama. The noise you hear is the wind. There's a swing and a miss. Got a little injury down on the softball field over past the right field fence, and I'm going to send Vince Scavo, the head trainer at Gables, over there to take a look. Full versatility guy joining us for the color and doing some of his training duties, and got him. Swing and a miss by Gama. He's retired, and Hoff comes back strong in the 3rd inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We're through 2 and man Vince Scavo. There's a good look at our man Vin, who left the broadcast booth momentarily to head down to girls softball to take a look at an injury. Head trainer here at Coral Gables High School. Of course, it's Eric Molina. Does a fine job for the baseball program. The Cavaliers doing a fine job this afternoon. Out in front, 5-1 over Southridge. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. For Coral Gables, it's going to be Adrian Perez, Vincent Torres, and Jose Huguet. They're against the Southridge reliever, sophomore Mike Suarez. Well, actually now, wait a minute, may have another pitching change in between innings. Let's take a look. Cavaliers chase the starter Clayton. Yeah, it's still Suarez. Actually, though, he just changed his uniform top, so it's still Suarez in the ball game as the pitcher for the Spartans. Coach Gaylord trying to get a little trickster on us, but there's a shot out into center field, base hit for the Cavaliers. Adrian Perez is aboard, leadoff man aboard again for Coral Gables. 3rd straight inning. Cavaliers have gotten the leadoff man on. It's paid off as they scored 4 in the 1st and 1 in the 2nd. Take a look at that one once again. Adrian Perez, who doubled in the 1st inning, bangs one right up through the middle, and he's aboard at first base. Nice piece of hitting. Cavaliers already with 7 hits in the ball game. Southridge has been unable to keep Gables down. Snap throw over to first, and back in time is Perez. He and Rouse have a little joust down there at first base. These 2 teams are rivals, no doubt about it. Perez fakes the go, and the pitch is over to Torres. Adrian Perez has got his lead. Snap throw over, back in time. 7 innings in high school baseball. Cavaliers with the big 5-1 advantage. They jumped on it early. In fact, left the bases stranded in the second. Perez is running. Kind of a mini pitch out. Throw to second, not nearly in time, and Perez is in at second base on the clean steal. Well, like his mentors, coaches Bertman and Fraser, Coach Biz and Castro really put the pressure on when they have a lead. We saw that in our last TV game at Marklight Stadium against Southwest, where they put so much pressure on the Eagles, and they're doing it again this afternoon against Gables. Gables is actually against Southridge. Torres is still at the plate now in a run-producing situation. The number 7 hitter. Talked about Southridge and their gaudy offensive numbers. 8 of the 9 Gables hitters, over 300. But taking a seat there on the strikeout is Torres. First K for a Spartan pitcher. He returns to the Gables dugout. And coming out is Jose Huguet. Back on the eligible list. Plays some offense and pitching for Dave Biseglia's ball club. He was hit by a pitch in the second and caught stealing. Junior Huguet. Swinging a ground ball, second base side. Good coverage by Gama, throws him out, but advancing to third is Perez. So 2 are gone here in the bottom of the third. Southridge tried to put a goose egg on the board for the Cavaliers. They've been unable to do it thus far in the game. But a tough out is at the plate, and Jose Martinez. Strike called. It's been a windy, partly cloudy, sun shining a bit right now afternoon. The runner at third base is Adrian Perez. Coach Castro right behind him. That one gets away from the pitcher Suarez. Second sophomore that we've seen on the afternoon. Gables chased Wade Clayton up from the JV, and now they're getting a look at Suarez. Brings one home, and it's shot out into right center field. Shannon Stewart is there to make the play. So the Cavaliers are retired. Only 4 batters, no runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. Through 3 complete. Cavaliers 5 and the Ridge 1. Go to the top of the 4th inning, and little meeting of the minds for the Southridge club. Meeting with Jeff Curry, their head coach. Southridge, of course, always one of the top programs in South Florida and throughout the state. Former coach Hertz brought them much acclaim now at Miami-Dade New World Center. It's now Jeff Curry for the District 16 ball club, champions from a year ago. And Dave Biseglia with his man on the mound, Eddie Hoff, who's got a 5-1 lead. Hoff has been hot as of late. Junior pitcher for the Cavaliers. He's going to face in the 4th inning Serda, Rouse, and Bargeman. Serda walked and scored the lone Southridge run of the ball game. Will Seekoff, along with Gables High trainer Vince Scavo, who's making his way back from the softball field as duty called for a moment. Had a slight injury over there. We'll have to get a report from Vin. And here's Serda, hitting .603 on the season. Remarkable numbers. And the first pitch misses for ball 1 from Hoff. Full windup. Hoff delivers a strike. It's 1-1. And Vince Scavo is back, out of breath. We got a good look at you, by the way. We were eavesdropping on you over there at the softball field, Vinny, as Serda reaches for one and pops it up into right center field. It's going to be Jose Martinez there for the first out of the inning. Nothing serious, I hope?
Nothing serious. He'll be fine. In fact, it was under control before I got there. I was waiting for the elevator to bring me back up here, but I couldn't find it.
We kept an eye on you, though, to make sure you weren't playing hooky or anything. We'd have to refer you if you got your second detention, right?
Have to bring the checkbook to this game next time.
Todd Rouse now the batter for the Ridge. Misses outside for ball one. Cavaliers were retired, by the way, Vin, in the bottom of the third. They sent 4 men to the plate. They've got the 5-1 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. Have to see if that'll hold up for Eddie Hoff. Comes home and once again pops it up high and deep this time to center field. Martinez near what would be the warning track for out number 2 of the inning.
Jose covers a lot of ground out there.
Some action in the bullpen.
Alex Fajardo.
Yep.
Sophomore pitcher.
Yeah, it's obstructed from our view here, but they got him down in the right field bullpen.
May see some action today.
With 2 gone, Hoff is now retired 5 in a row. Pitch to Bargeman. Bargeman doubled and was stranded in the 2nd inning. Excuse me. Pitch to the plate. Swung on. He really stepped into and ripped that one to right field. That's just misses being a home run. It's off the fence and in at second base easily as Bargeman, his 2nd double of the game. See, Vinny, he stepped in and just ripped that one from home
Yes, he really
plate.
did. That was an excellent swing. He missed the home run by about 6 inches. Really showed a lot of aggressiveness, went with the outside pitch, and of course, you know, the way this wind is blowing, but I don't think if the wind was blowing in, he still would have had himself a shot off the fence.
Take a look at that one again, Vinny. The step and bang.
Nice swing, very nice. Who's that hitting coach over there?
Here's Javier Rodriguez. He's struck out in the 2nd inning. Opportunity here for Southridge to poke a run, a 2-out run across, rather.
Well, that's the thing with Southridge, with the experience that they have. They're not going to just lie down. They're going to be aggressive, and they're going to play aggressive the whole ball game. You're going to have to give them your best every time, and you just can't sit back with them and say, well, we got a 4-run lead. They'll come right back on you.
Pitch misses from Hoff. On at 2nd is Bargeman. Celeste Bargeman.
There's a nice,
That's
there's
a
a
good
big
one.
league name right there, huh?
Absolutely. Hoff checks him quickly. Comes home with the fastball. Just misses. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Gables with the 4-run first leads it 5-1. Lucky 13 is the number on Eddie Hoff. Strike called. 2-2. First base coach Steve Rogers was asking Hollis Drake, the home plate umpire, if he went around or if it was a called strike. Said it was a called strike. And again, there's a shot at 2nd base, but Lowell's there. Low throw, Tommy Peck. No, he says he bobbled it. And coming home to score on a big play is Bargeman.
Oh, you're going to see Coach Basili come out and argue that one.
Yeah.
I think he has possession of that.
Whoa.
I really didn't see the front of the ball, but Tommy had confidence the way he came off the bag. He had confidence that he had control of the ball. Let's see it again on the replay.
Let's take a look at this one again. As Lowell, Vin, made the low throw from 2nd, Tom Peck came up like he had the ball. Here's first the swing from Rodriguez. It goes to 2nd. There's Lowell. Good slow down in the truck by the guys. And just out of the view is what Tom Peck felt was the scoop. But what happened then, after he came up with it, a little hesitation, Bob James made the call safe. And then coming all the way around was Bargeman, who had the running start, and it's now 5-2. Big call and a big play for Southridge.
Good base running by Bargeman. I think Tommy might have just came off the bag a little bit. That might have just drove him off the bag. But he did a good job in preventing that ball and preventing the runner to go to 2nd base.
Well, that's going to be an error on Lowell. And there is a strike called. Alfred Nieves, if I'm not mistaken, Ben, I don't know if Lowell picked up an E or not in the tournament, but he was perfect, I think, coming into the Southwest game earlier this year. Take a look and see if we can get some defensive numbers here. There's another swing and a miss by Nieves with 2 strikes on the board. Let's see here. Fielding percentage, Lowell came in at 992. So that's his, yeah, it's only his second error on the season. As really, in my view of the team, that's been really one of their main strengths. Some great defense for the Cavaliers.
They're playing excellent defense. I think last year there might have been a little bit of their weakness was the defense, and you know, this year they've kind of strengthened that, and that's just more to their advantage.
5-2 Cavaliers. On at first is Rodriguez. There's a chopper at second. Lowell with the scoop and underhand play. No bobble there. And that's the third out of the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left aboard. To the bottom of the 4th inning we go. It's 5-2 Coral Gables. Southridge gets a run back in the top of the 4th. Gables leads it 5-2. And Vin, clarification on the fielding numbers on Lowell. That's his second error on the season, but we're right. It's his first error of the year at second base. He picked up one on the mound as a pitcher, but what a job he's done at second base defensively all year. Mike Lowell. He's
just a super ball player, and you know, bringing Alex Tomago over here from Westminster gave them a great double play combination. And you know, like I said, wherever Mikey goes next year, and hopefully it's somewhere local, he's going to do a super job. He's just an excellent kid, excellent athlete, and he's a good ball player to have.
Well, that low throw came at a tough time for the Cavaliers, though, as it gets Southridge a run. They get on the board in the 4th, 5-2, bottom of the 4th inning. You heard some of the comments in the dugout. Let's get it right back, guys. The Cavaliers had a 4-0 and 5-1 lead, and they'd like to get to work offensively here in the bottom of the 4th.
Senior double at the plate today.
That's right. Leading things off is Marrero, top of the order for the Cavaliers. He's 2 for 2, both doubles. Scavo doing that on memory without a scorebook. Here's one into left field. Wind holds that one up, and Bargeman's there to make the play. Now let's give some credit to Mike Suarez, the relief pitcher. He's come in for Southridge and put down the Cavaliers. He's retired 1, 2, 5 of the 6 Gables batters that he's faced. That's no longer Clayton. He's out of the game. I know number 19 is on the jersey, but there was a jersey switch there, so I believe it is still Suarez who came in for Clayton.
Must have got the laundry mixed up today.
Yeah. Because that is a different motion than what we were seeing earlier, as Tom Peck is at the plate. And Vin, I think it's raining.
Yes, we are getting wet.
I noticed there were some drops on my eyeglasses. I'm wondering where those were coming from. Send the umbrella up, Piero. Getting wet up here. Tom Peck grounds that one at short. Schuler is there. Low throw, scooped nicely. And that's the 2nd out of the inning.
Hope our producer is staying dry in the truck.
Oh boy, gonna have to send an extra bill to the mayor and the city manager. It's no sweat off our back. He'll just have to pay for the antibiotics. 2 gone in the inning. That dugout sure looks dry though.
Very dry.
Jeez. Mike Lowell at the plate with 2 gone. He's 0 for 2 in the game, and the first pitch misses for ball 1 from Suarez.
I might have to go ice down a pitcher in a few minutes here.
You're not leaving, Scavo. I got you tied down now. Windy, overcast, sunny, now drizzly afternoon, and Lowell pops it up again. First base side, it's Rouse battling and making the play. 3 up and 3 down, and the Cavaliers are retired. Through 4 complete, 5-2 Coral Gables. Coral Gables, windy, overcast, and now drizzly afternoon. But the weather has held off in time for the Cavaliers to have a 5-2 advantage through 4 complete. Will Seekoff, along with Vin Scavo, the shivering Vin Scavo, on top of the first base dugout. It's beginning to pick up. Vinny, can't slouch anymore, Ron. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for the wake-up call, gentlemen.
Coral Gables with the 3-run lead. They popped 4 runs across in the bottom of the 1st inning. Another in the 2nd, but Southridge hanging in there. It's 5-2 presently. Eddie Hoff against Clayton and Mike Suarez.
All this equipment is grounded, right? I mean,
absolutely.
We're not going to fry or anything.
We're about to head underneath the table if the wind picks up any further. Top of the 5th, and leading things off for Southridge. Who is it? My scorebook is wet. John Soto. First pitch misses from Hoff. Oh boy, Come back to your high school, do some games. It'll be a good time, they say.
Weather's beautiful.
There's a strike called to Soto. He doubled and was stranded back in the third inning. Go get us some rain gear, Vin. Take as much time as you need. Eddie Hoff from the full windup. Pitch to the plate. Just misses. Just misses to Soto. Top of the fifth inning. 5-2 Coral Gables.
I got a little worried there. Will, they sent up a garbage bag. I don't know if that was the kind of job I'm doing up here, but they gave me a garbage bag to stay dry.
Strike 3 called on Soto, and he is retired. That's the 4th strikeout from Hoff. That means nothing, Vin. That's just some protection from the elements. Don't you pay attention to that stuff.
Thank you.
You're a warrior, a saint, coming up here with us.
By our producer.
And we appreciate it immensely. The only thing worse than being up here in the rain would be up here in the rain alone.
Does Jim Mandis and Joe Zagacki, if they would get wet, I think they would have rain suits up here.
Sean Schuler at the top of the order. He's 0 for 2. This reminds me of broadcasting for WVUM at Dick Hauser Stadium in Tallahassee. I think you once treated me for electrocution up there at a UM-FSU game, if you recall, during yeah.
Visiting radio outside.
Oh, boy. Pitches up high now to Shannon Stewart. I'm sorry, that's Sean Schuler.
Did you hear something?
Something in my ear, some ringing noise. Top of the fifth inning, 5-2 Cavaliers. Eddie Hoff to the plate. Fouls it off. Spartans put one across in the second and in the fourth. That was an unearned run in the fourth off of Hoff.
Speaking of Dick Hauser, our Hurricanes did a super job this weekend with the sweep.
Can you believe it? First time in history. There's a strike called on Sean Schuler. Ron Fraser, way to go out in style up there in Tallahassee. 3 straight from the Seminoles.
Typical big guy style.
Tremendous. Eddie Hoff bringing one home. Popped him up. First base. No, that'll be Lowell calling everybody off. Out number 2 of the inning. Nice piece of pitching there for Hoff.
Eddie doing a good job.
He really jammed
settling down.
There's Mike Lowell. 1 error on the season at second base. 2 overalls. He picked up 1 on the mound. That is unbelievable to go through an entire season with all the different infields that you play on in Dade County and the hops and the bounces playing on the turf at the light, to go through with that kind of fielding percentage.
Excellent steadiness at second base. You look in the stats, he's up there in hitting, he's up there in pitching, and just doing a super job. Obviously, he should be leading in fielding percentage if they had that stat in the paper, but they don't. He's doing a super job, and his senior leadership, Mark Rodriguez at third base, that's a big key for them this year. The senior leadership, Tommy Peck, the captain, just doing a super job.
Shannon Stewart at the plate with 2 gone. Huff challenges him. Stewart sends it into right center field, and calling everybody off is Martinez. Easy 3 up and 3 down inning. To the bottom of the 5th we go. 5-2 Coral Gables. Back at Woodward Field, Mike Suarez is coming in relief. For Southridge, for Wade Clayton. Vinny, he's done a good job on the mound, Suarez. Yes, really impressive in relief.
Came in with loaded bases, got the out, and he's done an excellent job since holding the Cavaliers down. And you know, that's what we talked about with giving your pitcher some confidence. And that's just another guy that's going to help Southridge down the way. And they're going to need it with the tournament coming up. You're going to need as much pitching as you possibly can.
Particularly when he puts on Clayton's number 19, does that little switcheroo. 5-2 Cavaliers on top. You saw a good look at the scoreboard here at Woodward Field. Gables with 4 in the first, 1 in the second. Southridge with 1 in the second and 1 in the fourth. Coach Orlando Castro at third base.
Coach Stroh.
Hoping to get some offense going here for Gables. Bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch, 1 hops its way to Mark Rodriguez. We'll seek off along with Vince Scavo, and we've got our cameraman, Paul Fournier, up here, braving the elements. Good job, my man, on top of the first base dugout.
Paul is an excellent card player, by the way, if anybody would like to know.
Uh-oh. Rodriguez, the cleanup man. Pitched to the plate, swung on and popped him up. High fly, third base side. Shortstop, Schuler calls everyone off. One gone. It'll be Alex Tamargo for the Cavaliers. 7 straight Gables players retired and 8 out of 9 for Suarez. From the full windup, pitch to the plate. Down low, ball 1 to Tamargo.
This is Gables' third game in as many days.
Yeah, making up some of the rainouts and getting things going down the home stretch in 1992. Strike called.
You can never have enough pitching, and that's what's important with your pitching staff, and having as many pitchers as you can have on your staff that can do a good job. And you know, they may play a 4th game in 5 days this week, and you got to have enough of pitching.
Ground ball, shortstop side. Schuler, high throw, but a good stretch by Rouse. Out number 2.
Especially with all these games being district games, a loss could change the rankings, and Gables can't afford to have that happen.
Now Gables' dugout getting a little antsy as it came often and early in this ball game with 4 runs in the first and 1 in the second. But it so often happens. They left the bases loaded in that second inning and have been shut out since. Outstanding relief effort by Suarez in relief of Wade Clayton. At the plate now is Adrian Perez. Ball 1. Well, the wind has stayed, but now the sun is out, and we're thankful for that. Had a little drizzle patrol there for a couple innings. High chopper at third. Hot shot for Javier Rodriguez. Again, a scoop by Todd Rouse. It's his inning over at first base. And 3 up and 3 down.
Excellent
Through
job.
5 completed Woodward. It's 5-2, Coral Gables. Hi. Gables City Network, Channel 49 in Coral Gables. See this ball game throughout the week and all Gables High sports throughout the year on Gables City Network. It's broadcast in conjunction with Mike Crudell and the staff at Cavalier Cable Network. Sunday nights, of course, 8:30, Cable Tap 2 in Dade County, Channel 36 countywide. Glad to be with you, Will Seekoff, along with Vince Scavo at Woodward Field for the Gables Southridge matchup. Home of Cavalier baseball in 1992, which has meant winning baseball. Cavaliers have not lost at home this season, and they're trying to keep it going in their last home game of the year. Eddie Hoff on the mound for Coral Gables. Ricardo Gama at the plate. Gables on top, 5-2. It's now the top of the 6th. Hoff to the plate. Upstairs, ball 2. Hoff's gone the entire way, Vin, for Gables. Impressive again. Another strong outing for Eddie.
Eddie doing a good job this beginning for him right here, and because now if he can get through this inning, if he has any trouble in the 7th, he can go to the bullpen. But you want to try to give your bullpen as less work as possible today with these playoff games and one more game possibly this week. A complete game from Eddie would be nice, and you can get him ready to start him in the district.
Ricardo Gama leads it off with a single. And Southridge, Vin, well, they're hanging around in this game. Held Gables to the 5. Got one back unearned in the 4th, and now threatening here in the 6th. We shall momentarily. Eddie Hoff with a man on at first. Little inside TV lingo there for you. As Cesar Cerda's at the plate, the catcher. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. On at first base is Gama. There's a shot out into left center field. And Southridge's bats, Vin, are awakening. Nobody out. Runners at first and second.
Well, this is what the thing about Southridge. They're not going to lay down. They're going to play good baseball. They're going to give you 7 innings of hard baseball, and that's what their coaches teach them. And you know, they're just not going to come out and just say, okay, you won the ball game. We'll see you later.
Dave Biseglia coming out to have a quick visit with Eddie Hoff and pulls him by the jersey and have a little chit-chat as 2 men are aboard for Southridge. 5 runs, 7 hits, and an error for Coral Gables. 2, 5, and 1, and threatening for Southridge. Entire infield now meeting as a tying run really for Southridge is at the plate as they get back-to-back base hits, and Todd Rouse is at the plate. I
think Coach Biss is just talking to the Huffer, settle him down, tell him how well he's pitched and selection of his pitchers that he's using, and I think he just needs to just have some, you know, a little more confidence in himself on the mound. He'll be okay.
First pitch home is a strike called from Hoff. Todd Rouse, first baseman. He's popped out to center field on consecutive at-bats. Nobody out, 2 men on. Ball 1, 1-1 the count. On at second base is Ricardo Gama. On at first base, Cesar Cerda. Another big league name there.
Yeah, Cesar's a big league name and
big league numbers.
Big league job.
There's a high fly ball. Right field, easy play there for Vincent Torres, and big first out of the inning for Eddie Hoff. So 3 straight pop-outs for Rouse. That'll send Celeste Bargeman to the plate. Five to 2, Coral Gables. Getting late, top of the 6th inning. They play 7 at Gables High. High school baseball. 4-run first was the big blow, the big edge for Coral Gables as they chased Wade Clayton. Pitch home from Hoff. Fastball is a strike to Bargeman. Bargeman also has been Mr. Double today. He's 2 for 2 on doubles. Foul tips it. 2 strikes on the board. Left fielder hitting .440 on the season. He's raised that with the 2 hits. Bargeman, number 6 spot hitter.
This is the type of the order now. He gets out of this, he'll have 7, 8, 9 coming up next inning, and that's what you want to see. You don't want to get back up to the top of the order with Southridge. But Huffer seems to be a little bit more composure and showing some good stuff.
Done the job all season long, particularly here towards the end of the season for Gables. There's a shot at first base, and what a play for Tom Peck. He grabs the line drive and then doubles off Cerda by stepping on the bag. Bang, bang, and that's the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. To the bottom of the 6th we go. 5 to 2. Great defense for the Cavaliers. Bottom of the 6th inning, Cavaliers on top 5 to 2. And Vin, let's take a look at that inning-ending double play. Back in the top of the 6th, the shot at Tom Peck taken away.
Yeah, it's just a super play by Tommy Peck. Ball hit real hard. Did a good job at hitting the ball to the right, but have an excellent first baseman who covers very good ground over there. Did a super job, got the double play, and now the Hoffer's going to go out there with 7, 8, 9 in the 7th inning, and you can't ask for nothing more than that.
Bottom of the 6th offensively for the Cavaliers, it's going to be Torres, Huguet, and Martinez. Cavaliers have been shut down after the big early inning, but they're on top 5 to 2. Wade Clayton was the starting pitcher for Southridge, and we believe, Vinny, actually, that it's Mike Suarez in the ball game. It's kind of tough when they don't really give you rosters or stats before the game, but Mike Suarez came in momentarily to close out one of the innings, and then it looks like a number roster switch, so we believe it's Suarez. If it's not, we're sorry to the man who's put on an outstanding effort. If it is, we congratulate the man on an outstanding effort on the pitcher's mound.
And get some names on those units.
Well, you know.
Like a first base coach, I don't see his name on that unit. That should be another fine.
Who's that, Cole? C-O-A-L? Is that how he spells it? No.
I tell you, he's the lucky charm there. Since he's put that uni on, they've just come and just been a different ball club.
Vincent Torres, right fielder. He's 0 for 2 in the game. Swing and a miss.
I don't know if he's offering incentives or anything, but they've just been playing some good baseball.
That kind of went over, shoom, went right over the head. Then what? Pitch is up high. Bottom of the 6th, 5-2 Cavaliers. 4-run first is held up for Coral Gables. So they're trying to make it a three-peat on the '92 season over Southridge. That's tough. Beat them earlier this year at the Ridge. Beat them a week ago at Boardwalk in baseball, and trying to take care of them here at Gables High. Have to see if they have to make it 4 for 4 and Mark Light. That would be quite a feat.
Yeah, we have probably the way things will look. You'll have well, hopefully it'll be Gables in the #1 spot.
And that would probably be Palmetto, and then Southwest and Southridge, but you don't know. A couple games left down the stretch. There's a ball down into right field, and that's going to drop for a base hit for Torres. He's rounded second. He's thinking about third base. The relay coming into third is not in time. It goes into the dugout. And on to third base, backed up well by the pitcher there with a triple is Vincent Torres. Right fielder Nieves just couldn't catch up to it.
Super job by Vinny. The ball kind of beat him to third base, but the third baseman had a hard time handling it. But that's a super job. Vinny got some good speed going around. He's been doing a super job this year, hitting the ball, been real steady in the outfield, and he's been a contributor. And I think everybody on this club, really, there's no one standout. Everybody on this, all these 9 guys, the DH, people on the bench, everybody's been contributing.
So the Southridge infield will now play in for Jose Huguet. Huguet was hit by a pitch in the 2nd, and grounded out in the 3rd. Well, it's not Wade Clayton, we know that, guys. The mystery man on the mound, we believe it's Mike Suarez. Pitch gets away, and returning back to third base is going to be Torres. Just to clear you up, Wade Clayton, number 19, the sophomore, started the ball game. Then a new man came in. Yeah, that run's going to count, Vin.
Run counts.
Okay, run is going to count. Vincent Torres comes home. First, they sent him back to third as though it was like a foul tip, but now Torres comes home, and Gables will take it. Wild pitch. It's 6-2 now, Coral Gables. So a triple and a wild pitch scores another run for Gables. Huguet grounds one at second base. Good coverage by Gama. The throw's in time. Bang, bang play for out number 1. Now it's Jose Martinez. He's 0 for 1 with the walk. Gables dug out, happy with the 6th run, and they got it on the wild pitch, and now the quick out, Vin. Nice coverage by Gama to make the play.
Well, we know Jose is not going to break any world records with his speed.
Look out, Vin. You look down for a minute. There's a shot over to, well, geez, bumper cars over to Riviera.
Rush hour into Gables. There's
That's
about
right.
4 cars out there.
6-2 Coral Gables. Bottom of the 6th inning. Gets away from the catcher, Cerda. Gables trying to run their record to 23-4 and 13-2 in the district, trying to go undefeated at home. It's been a great 92. They're trying to make it unforgettable as the district playoffs are coming up. We hope to be with you from Mark Light Stadium. Return trip to the Light. Of course, we brought you on Gables City Network and Cable Tap 2, the Gables Southwest ball game a couple of weeks back. Outstanding effort for the Cavaliers. Grounded to Schuler at short. He's up and throwing for the second out of the inning. Mike Rosenthal and Howie Shapiro were along for that one. Had old Howie along with us.
Howie, the Flash.
Trying to take your color commentary job away there. We've had Fiore, Scavo, Shapiro. It's been
sounds like a law firm.
Yeah, it's been quite a color commentating crew in 1992. Glad you guys have been able to be with us for what has been a great ride for the Cavaliers. And here's Eliezer Marrero, takes one for a ride into center field, but he's retired for the third out of the inning. But the Cavaliers get a run, one hit, no errors, nobody left. Last chance for the Spartans through 6 complete. It's 6-2, Coral Gables. We are through 6 complete innings in Coral Gables at Woodward Field on Coral Gables High School. 6-2 as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Coral Gables out in front with a 4-run first inning as they have done the job all season long.
But there's no Paez on the lineup.
Vince Scavo trying to get things sorted out with the Southridge staff. Well, take a listen here. Vinny giving him, Vinny, you're on mic now, so let's watch the language. You're getting the real name on the Southridge pitcher as we're trying to clear it up. Rogers, Cole, and Scavo. You're getting a little behind-the-scenes wireless look here. Hey, Vin, stop the pontificating. Just get the name of the kid and put the headsets back on. Jeez, gotta get a little discipline on Scavo. You're telling me now it's Paez, a guy not listed on the roster for Southridge. We just want to clear it up so when his parents are watching this Sunday, he'll be happy.
The name is Paez.
The name is Paez. Came up recently from the JV for Southridge. Yeah. So we get your headset activated again. So just to keep the record and the numbers straight, in case you're keeping a book at home, the Paez, not Suarez, was the pitcher coming in wearing Clayton's number 19 for Southridge. In case you can follow that. If you have any difficulties, please call Jeff Curry at Southridge and tell him to get a roster out next time. Top of the 7th, last chance for Southridge, and leading things off, it's Javier Rodriguez. Alfred Nieves and John Soto. You got it straight with Rogers there at first base?
I think he just wants me to look bad up here, so he didn't put the name on the roster.
All right. And they changed the number on you.
And the number.
Scavo.
It's okay, I won't quit my day job.
Pitches down low from Hoff, who's trying to close this one out against Southridge. Eddie Hoff.
God bless you.
Gone the entire way for the Cavaliers. Pitches up high. Trying to improve his record. He's 5-1 with the 4.53 ERA. Won his last 2 ball games in Orlando. The 6-foot junior got a little extra bounce in the step now. So he's trying to go all 7. Pitch to the plate. Misses. Ball 4. He walked him.
He's just trying to be a little bit over aggressive. He's just got to settle down and stay the way he has the last 6 innings. I think he just kind of tasted a little bit, and he's just getting a little bit over anxious out there and overthrowing a little bit. You see those last couple of pitches were up high.
Hoff gave up a couple of back-to-back singles in the 6th, but then, thanks to the great defense from Peck, ended the inning. Ground ball, second base side, could be 2. Lowell to second for 1, back to first, not in time. So Nieves is safely aboard at first, but Rodriguez on the 4-6 put out is out number 1. Cavaliers returning that double play nicely. Tamargo's throw just a little bit late at first base, man.
Mikey had a little hard time getting that ball out of the glove a little bit. A little slow into the pitch over to Tamargo.
Take a look at it. Ground ball at second. Lowell came up throwing. And it's Tamargo. Nice shuffle. And just a little bit late. John Soto, the DH. He's 1 for 2. Down low for ball 1. On at first is Alfred Nieves, then the top of the order. Southridge trailing by 4. It's 6-2, Coral Gables. Foul ball down the third base line, out of play. Good wide shot of Woodward Field at Coral Gables High School. They're really finishing up on that new science wing, I guess, down off of Lejeune and Bird Road, Vin.
Coming along, they're building a new city.
Yeah.
Things are looking nice.
Swing and a miss.
May come back from the summer and go to the wrong place. I might not know where I'm at.
I was headed to the airport today. I looked up, and man, they're really moving things along, the improvements here at Coral Gables High School. Number 9 spot hitter Soto trying to make some improvement in the Southridge offense. They're in danger of losing their 3rd game of the season to Coral Gables. Off to the plate, just misses outside. On at first base is Nieves. The top of the order awaits.
Strike.
Fajardo, the left-hander, has been throwing as we showed you last inning in the Gables dugout. Ground ball into right field, base hit. Stopping at second is Nieves, and the Spartans trying to get a little something going.
Seeing eye base hit right there. Did a good job moving the runner over. Windy City.
Yes. The sound you hear is wind. We've seen it. We've seen some sun, some wind, some hitting, and some pitching from Eddie Hoff, and he needs a little more of the latter here in the 7th, trying to close the door on the Spartans. First pitch misses for ball 1. On at second, Nieves. On at first is Soto. Sean Schuler is the batter. Tying run is in the on-deck circle. 6-2 Gables. Pitch to the plate. Strike call. 1-1 the count. Hoff takes a look at the base runners, comes home and misses. It's 2-1. Sean Schuler's 0 for 3 in the ball game.
1-2, 1-2.
Off to the plate. Off speed for the strike. 2 strikes on the board. Huguette's also now throwing down in the Gables bullpen. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Top of the 7th and final inning. Popped him up, foul territory, up and over the dugout. 2 strikes remain on the board. Southridge will play at Southwest for their final game. We already mentioned Gables and Palmetto trying to reschedule. Gables and Southwest fighting for that number 1 seed in District 16 playoffs. Strike 3 call. Huff up in the fists. Big strikeout looking as Sean Schuler is retired and Hoff is 1 out away from the complete game victory.
There's a big batter coming up here.
Second base is Nieves, first base is Soto. But at 6-2, the man at the plate, Stewart, really can't hurt you. It's that on deck. You got to keep Stewart off the base paths. 2 away for Hoff, who's battled and battled hard in the 6th and 7th innings. Strike call. Look at that bounce. He gets that extra hop in the step as he smelled. This guy can pitch on TV, huh? He's undefeated on TV in 1992.
The Hoffer is pumped. He's doing a super job.
Gotta tell you what, man has done the job on Channel 49 and Cable Tap 2 this year.
I don't think he's walked the batter today, has he?
One walk back in the 7th inning. He struck out 5. Hoff stopping around number 13, the junior. 1 out away, and it's Shannon Stewart, who's 1 for 3 in the ball game. 6-2 Cavaliers. Pitches in the dirt. Good block by Marrero.
It's a good pitch. Good pitch. Marrero got a good catcher back there. Throwing the ball away. Want to see if Stewart will go after it.
Coral Gables trying to close the door on the Southridge Spartans for the 3rd time this year. Pitch to the plate, misses. On at second is Nieves. On at first is Soto. 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Off working from the stretch, looks into Eleazar Marrero. Pitch home, swung on, shortstop side, that should do it. To Margo to roll, and the ball game is over. Cavaliers take it wire to wire and wrap up the victory. Southridge threatens but can do no damage in the 7th. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. Eddie Hoff, complete game victory. Gables, 3rd straight win over Southridge. We'll come back to wrap it up. For now, the Cavaliers over Southridge by a final of 6-2. At Gables High School, you see the victorious final score. The Cavaliers close out the season at home undefeated. They've got 1 ball game remaining in the regular season of '92. And Vince Scavo, they are a hot ball club. 14 of their last 15 games victories. And this afternoon, 6-2 over Southridge. Eddie Hoff was on. And the Cavaliers are heading towards the district playoffs. And they couldn't be happier.
Oh, they're playing super baseball. I just been thinking during our break, I remember last year when the Cavaliers were 1 out away from winning their first district in 30 years. I think some of those players that were coming back sat down and realized how kind of a ball club they were going to have this year. And I think they really got together and playing super baseball. In my mind, this is one of the better baseball teams in the state right now. I really don't believe what you read in the papers and who's ranked #1 or who's in the top 25 in the nation, but this is a super ball club, and they are peaking at the right time, and that's the most important thing, is to peak at the right time. And they're getting good pitching, good hitting, good defense, and they're just getting all phases of the game.
Sometimes you can get that feeling when a team might have that special quality or that special something to make a run at a state title, and I think the Cavaliers really think they've got a legit shot this year.
I think they definitely have a legit shot, and I think it's, in my honest opinion, it's theirs to win, and they just can't make any more mistakes and just go get it.
Vince Scavo, thanks for joining us. Thanks for braving the elements. We hope to see you down the road at Districts at the Light.
Always a pleasure, Will, and I want to thank our producer for allowing me to come out here and performing today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Producer.
All right. Cavaliers with the victory, 6-2 over Southridge. Their 3rd win of the season over the Spartans. We'll have to see if they see them again at the District 16 playoffs next week at Mark Light Stadium. This is Will Seekoff for Vince Scavo saying thanks so much for being with us. We'd like to thank our director, Tom Piero, from Gables City Network, Mike Mustard and Rich Amansky, and Mike Crudell and the entire crew from Cavalier Cable Network. Once again, your final score, Gables 6, Southridge 2. For now, so long, everybody.
Thanks, Will.